Hey everybody, I wanted to diversify my channel a little bit and do a video on something else that is very important to me, and that is finances and budgeting our money. Something both my husband and I are we talk a lot about, and we both agree that that's very important. I think too often, especially with the economic crisis, people live above their means, so it's very important to us to not do that. So I've set up a financial system here in place at our house. I've used a version of this basically my entire adult life that I had, responsibilities and things like that. But I've tweaked it a little bit, and for probably like the past 6 years or so, used the exact same system. And it works really well for us. And, this isn't for everyone. I think that the important thing is with any kind of plan, either financially or, dieting, anything like that, you have to find out what works for you so that you can stick to it. So I just want to go over the basics about our plan. That way maybe somebody can get some ideas, or maybe even, do the same plan, whichever. The first thing I want to show you is like the first step, and that is to go every single year we invest in a calendar, a desk calendar like this. And this just has, the months, where you have the space to write in each day. And I go through and do this up for like a year or two. So I have it done through like 2011, so that we can kind of tell like what our financial outcome is, and what we can afford versus what we can't afford, things like that. And what we basically do, and I'll just kind of focus in on this week here. And again, I get these at the dollar store. I mean, it kind of defeats the purpose if you spend a lot of money while you're trying to budget. So I just get these at the dollar store. And for each week, I write in the bills that we're going to pay for that specific week. And this is good for a couple reasons. First of all, it lets you know what to expect, and you don't have to just think of things out of your mind that you end up, like if you want to buy something, you don't have to think, well, what do I have to buy this much or pay for this week? You can look and tell exactly what you have to pay for. And second of all, it really helps so that nothing is ever late. I don't ever have to question if I made a payment to something, because it's all in my calendar and I know exactly what I've done. And I've also used it before because sometimes, like when we're trying to pay down our debt and I pay different amounts to the credit card or whatever, I've used it before to like go back and make sure everything's posting to my statement properly. So that's the first step, is to get yourself one of those. The next thing that I have done, and I know that some people will think I'm absolutely crazy, but it really works for us. And again, you just have to find what works for you. We have 5 different bank accounts, checking and savings. Not five total is what I mean. We have 3 checking accounts and 2 savings accounts. We have 1 main checking account. And you can set them up, based on what your needs are. But the way it works for us is we have 1 main checking account that we pay all of our bills out of. We buy gas each week, and we buy groceries. That's all that comes out of that account. We have another checking account, which is like our extra account, which is if we want to go out to eat, if we want to buy, things for the house or go to the movies, or, go shopping for other stuff. Anything like that comes out of that. Our car insurance comes out of that. We have a 3rd checking account that is specifically for house things. We pay our taxes, our utilities, our homeowners insurance, all out of that account. Then we have 2 different savings accounts, a short-term and a long-term savings. Short-term is mostly for Christmas, is what we use it for. Long-term is for like if we were going to buy a car or something and we needed money, some big purchase, things like that. And I go through once a week, and here's my different checkbooks or whatever. I go through once a week, write in all the credits, the debits, do them all once a week. I sit down for maybe half hour, 45 minutes, pay my bills, and do all that at the same time. And especially now that everything's online, it's so much easier. I try to balance my checkbooks each week, so you're not sitting down in one big thing to do it. So basically what happens is we have my husband's job, and I know a lot of jobs will do this. They'll deposit into more than one account. So we automatically have money going into both of our savings accounts and all 3 checking accounts. We have set amounts in everything except for example, let me show you because it'll be easier to explain. Like this is this month. We have $60 going to our house fund, $60 into our other fund, 25 into long-term savings, and 20 into our Christmas fund. Those go every week. So, you know, they're already out of his check. There's no thinking about it. They automatically go. And then the net after all that and all of his other health insurance and everything has been taken out, then that goes into the account that we pay our bills out of and buy our groceries out of. The other thing is, the reason why some of these are highlighted and not is because anything I've paid gets highlighted. So it's just another way to make sure that you're doing everything you're supposed to. Once we do that, it just makes it easy, because then what's left in our main checking account, you know, we come home, we write out our bills and buy our groceries. We know exactly how much we can spend on groceries. There's no guessing. And the other thing is, because we have set up this system, sorry, somebody was just backing out of our driveway for whatever reason. Because we've set up this system, it really helps us to expect unexpected things. And for example, if something happened, we know that we have the money in savings or wherever. I know a lot of people don't even have a savings account. So we know that we have the money to borrow from if we need to. The other good thing about this is we agreed, I don't know, it's been a couple years ago, that we would no longer use credit. And that was just another way that we chose to help us live within our means. So we don't use any credit at all. Well, let me rephrase that. We don't use any credit that costs us money. We do have credit cards. Anything that we use, we pay at the end of the month. For example, we use a gas card and that's only because we get a benefit. I feel like if it doesn't benefit us, there's no point. You should be paying cash for it. That's our philosophy. We have a gas card because we get so much off per gallon or whatever. And the other card that we have is a Home Depot card. And we do that because we use that for large purchases. That, like, for example, we just bought it was like over $3,000 fence to fence in our backyard. We put that on our Home Depot card because it was interest free for a year. So that helps us to be able to buy something instead of taking it out of our savings and basically paying the same as cash. That's the only time we use credit. We do not use credit where we get charged interest. On that same note, when we budget everything on 40 hours. I know a lot of people get overtime and things like that. And my husband is one of those people. He gets about 20 hours extra every week in overtime. All of our budgeting is done on 40 hours. And then his overtime is basically extra money. So what we end up using that for is for fixing up the house and things like that. Let's see what else. That is basically the budgeting aspect of it. I mean, I think it's really important to really consider, because especially now, if you look at your credit card statements, everything changed where they have to show you exactly how long it's taking you to pay everything off. It makes it, you know, you're saving yourself a ton of money by not using credit. And what we've done, I mean, that's not to say we don't have any credit debt at this point, because we still have credit debt left over from a couple years ago. We don't have hardly, I would say I think maybe like $3,000 left. We don't have a lot. And because I budget this way, it really helps me to pay down that debt. We send, you know, a lot of extra payments and things like that to our credit cards. And doing this method helps us keep track. So when we match up to our statements, to make sure everything's being credited. That's basically it. I just wanted to show you guys, you know, a way to budget, a way to, you know, try to make things a little simpler. It's really simplified our life and helping us predict what we can, you know, spend money on and things like that. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and I'd be glad to help you out. Talk to you later. Bye.